Pennsylvania. The Nottingham All-Stars from Hamilton Township open play tonight under the lights. Now, this was the scene on the practice field number 5 late this afternoon as the All-Stars went through a little pregame workout, getting ready for a South Lake St. Charles, Louisiana squad. Nottingham is assured of playing 3 games in the double elimination tournament, a special time for players, parents, and coaches.
Dream come true. It's unbelievable. We never thought we'd be here. I mean, I was coming here for a vacation, and my kid and the rest of this team brought us here, so we're thankful for that.
It's really hard to believe yet. I mean, even last night standing there for the opening ceremonies, it's like I have to keep saying to myself, I can't believe this.
When Nottingham takes the field against the Louisiana team tonight, there'll be the first night game ever in Little League World Series history. That and a double elimination format is all new this year.
I think it's good. First of all, we're used to playing night games because we play night games at our own field. The change in the format, I like it because it gives a chance for the other teams to play more than 1 game and they have to go home. Now they get a chance to at least play 3, and it gives them some experience and something to remember this by.
And we'll have highlights throughout the week. In football, the Giants are nursing more than a few bruised egos after losing to the Jets on Saturday.
For Washington, Maul here thinks he's got him where he wants him, but the Swede comes through with that extra oomph. Edberg wins the Volvo 7-6, 6-1. So Washington still has never won a set against Edberg. 0-4 against the Swede in his career. For Edberg, his 35th career singles title and just his 2nd title this year. Mike?
Linda, one problem with the Little League World Series. Teams travel from all over the country, all over the world. In some cases, they get to play just 1 game. Well, that's been taken care of this year. They've changed the format. It's round-robin play, meaning each team plays 3 games. So lights for the first ever night game in Williamsport, Little League World Series. Hamilton Square, New Jersey, hitting against Lake Charles, Louisiana. That's Matt O'Neill with a 3-run homer. That would be enough for Hamilton Square. The story of the pitcher, Matt Walski. 12 strikeouts for Matt Walski, whose dad is the coach of the team. Lake Charles, Louisiana only got 1 ball out of the infield. They move on. So does Long Beach, California. Sean Burrows had 12 strikeouts. His dad is the coach. His dad's Jeff Burrows. Yes, the same Jeff Burrows who played for the Rangers. The International plays Santo Domingo won and the Philippines won. Filipinos kept Taiwan out of this Little League World Series. We have the semifinals Thursday on ESPN. And we are back to tell you something you may not know about the
At the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. This afternoon, Nottingham lost to Long Beach, California, 6-4. They'll face an Illinois team tomorrow morning as they try to advance to Thursday's U.S. Championship game. California's Ryan Stewart gave his team a 1-0 lead with a home run against Chad Connie. It was one of 2 homers that Stewart hit this afternoon. Good crowd on hand, but Nottingham rallied. They scored 4 in the 3rd to take a 4-1 lead. 2 runs scoring on an error on Brandon Kivler's ground ball. That made it 2-1. And 2 more came home on passed balls by pitcher Ryan Beaver of California. So the Nottingham All-Stars led it 4-1. But the big blow was a bases-clearing 3-run double in the 4th by California's Alex DeFazio after an error by Nottingham's Adam Famoso. 3 runs came home. That tied it at 4-4. And then with the California folks whooping it up, Sean Burrows doubled home the winning run. California wins at 6-4. They're 2-0 and the favorite to win the U.S. bracket. Last night, Nottingham played the first night game in World Series history as they debuted, beating Lake Charles, Louisiana 5-0. Nottingham pitcher Matt Walski tripled down the line there, scored Matt Slasunas for a 1-0 lead. Brandon Kivler drove in a run with one of 2 singles. Walski scored from second for a 2-0 margin. And Matt O'Neill hit his 5th homer of the All-Star competition, a 3-run blast for a 5-0 lead and victory. So the big game tomorrow. Meanwhile, Morristown's Babe Ruth All-Stars return home today, losing out to Hurricane Andrew. This morning, the 13-year-old All-Stars flew back from Yuma, Louisiana.
To win, they will play the winner of tonight's game between the West and the South for the USA Championship game. That'll be tomorrow. Good luck to Jersey. Well, heavyweight boxing is on the horizon, and heavyweight champion Evander.
So you use MIDI.
Yet in Donovan Razor Reddick. The 2
moving inland now. Still showers and thunderstorms abound, strong winds. Hurricane Andrew has been downgraded to a tropical storm and is expected just to become an area of low pressure later tonight as it continues turning to the north and northeast, and eventually could see a little bit of moisture from that, though the system is expected to dissipate before making it on into what looks like now to be the state of Virginia. We'll continue to watch them carefully. Again, there's a frontal system across portions of the country, and that's going to help to steer Andrew on over to the east, the moisture from it, and we'll probably see some scattered thunder showers, but in our forecast for tomorrow, it will be hot and humid, and we'll have the afternoon heating variety with the scattered thunderstorms again. There's the area of low pressure for Andrew tomorrow afternoon as it begins to turn northeast and accelerate a little bit more. It will pick up its forward speed on land. For us tonight, partly cloudy, maybe a little bit of fog. Overnight lows mid to upper 60s, near 70 degrees in some places. And for tomorrow, some afternoon thunder shower activity with high temperatures generally in the 80s to near 90 degrees. Kent, Steve?
All right, Dave, thanks.
Time for sports with Jerry Henry.
That's right. In Williamsport, Pennsylvania today, Little League All-Stars from Hamilton Township, New Jersey, kept their hopes alive by beating South Holland, Illinois by a score of 5-2. Here's more. Hamilton Square pitcher Matt O'Neill found himself in an early jam. In the second inning, bases loaded, he walks in the first Illinois run to give his team a 1-0 deficit. But in the very next inning, O'Neill would redeem himself with a base hit, and teammate Chad Cuddy would come in with his first hit of the series, a 2-run homer to put Hamilton up 2-1 in the third inning. But in the fourth, O'Neill would commit one of Hamilton's 5 errors on the day as he overthrows the first baseman, and Illinois' Bill Boulder, who had tripled earlier, comes in to score to tie the game at 2 apiece. And we go to the 6th tied as Matt Wolski, who had come in to pitch for O'Neill, delivers the decisive blow with a 3-run homer to give Hamilton a 5-2 lead and to keep his team alive in the tournament.
The kid that hit the 3-run homer went to right field, which I told him I'm proud of. He's never hit a home run that way, and he's a pull hitter. And if we can get him going with the pitch, in fact, we teach every kid, all the kids to go with the pitch, it's going to make a big difference.
Yes, it's the Little League World Series where every game's a big game, but believe it or not,
once they leave this field, the pool, the ping pong table, and the food over here, and coming down here and trading pins is their main concern. They don't even, when we go back, they don't even talk about the game. I want these kids to have fun. I don't want to scream at them, and you know, it's we made 5 errors today. I'm not happy about it, but I'll take the win.
Now tonight, Long Beach, California takes on Lake Charles, Louisiana. If you're pulling for Hamilton, you want Long Beach to win. That would automatically put Hamilton in the semifinals. If Lake Charles wins, then it really gets complicated with a tie-breaking system. In college football, the New Jersey Athletic Conference, William Patterson College.
Ages. Speaking of the ages,
California, this is a team scoring 10 runs a game against the kids from Jersey, Hamilton Square. And Hamilton Square had a 4-square pitcher, Adam Famoso, who was famous today, getting Ryan Stewart swinging. Ismail Strainbay, and then Alex DeFazio cannot touch the bender. No-hitter into the 6th for Adam in a scoreless game. Ryan Bieber, though, with that aluminum bat down the line, jumps on the curveball, and a solo shot as Long Beach goes on for the 1-0 victory. We get the tying run in the 6th with Sean Burrows get Matt Slachunas to strike out swinging, and Sean, son of Jeff, with the complete game. Long Beach moves on to the final. The international final also today. The powerful Dominicans against the Filipinos, who knocked out Taiwan. Philippine pitcher Roberto Palacios unhittable today. Gets Alexis Chalice swinging. Dominicans hitless through 5. We're in the 4th with 2 on, and Allen Beaton with a shot to right. The throw to the plate is cut off, and the Philippines take a 2-0 lead. It's 3-0 into the 4th inning when Marlon Cantaleon hits one to Leahy. A solo shot to right center. A 5-1 victory for the Philippines. It is the first time that they will represent the Far East in the final. Final is coming up Saturday in Williamsport, and later in the Sports Center, we will hear from some of the youngsters playing in this World Series and how they view the big-time, big-money world of Major League Baseball.
Important than real estate investments and Dow Jones averages. That's because the players that Bill Patrick visited with are in Williamsport, Pennsylvania at the Little League World Series, where it looks like these kids have their heads screwed on right and their priorities in order.
Baseball the way it ought to be. Remember when it was just a game and it was played just for the fun of it, just for the glory, just to be able to say for a short time that you were the best? You remember.
Gary Sheffield catch, Derek Bell right field.
That's right. Sheffield, who now plays for the Padres, and Bell, who now plays for the Blue Jays, once played on the same Little League World Series team, Tampa, back in 1980. But you know they remember. And back then, they were no different from this year's crop in Williamsport. They were just kids with their own ideas of what Major League Baseball should be like.
Now, granted, this isn't the most scientific survey ever taken, but what we did discover by talking to this group of ultra amateurs is that they all seem to agree on one thing. There's not much of a chance they're going to make it to the big leagues. But if they do, they seem to know what awaits them. Among other things, major league money. Although, at this point, they're not exactly sure what constitutes major league money. What do you think you'd ask for as a rookie? How much money?
About 2 or 3 million. 3.5 million. About 4 or 5, I guess.
4 or 5 million?
Yeah. That'd be worth it. 8 million. 10 million, 15 million.
And what if you became a Hall of Fame player? How much then?
Oh, billion and everything.
Wow. You think you'd play as hard? You think
Yeah.
you'd have as much fun if you made that kind of money?
Yeah. Look good out there with your new shoes and new batting gloves.
Which, by the way, you wouldn't have to pay for. We then moved on to the subject of incentive clauses and pay for performance. And once we explained what that meant, most of them agreed that that seemed like a real good way to do business.
Well, I think that's better because it makes them work harder for what they're doing.
That makes them try harder to get to that goal and get the money.
They all realize that baseball has become a business of fame and fortune. And even at the Little League level, while fortune isn't a possibility yet, fame seems to be.
You know, right now, we're getting autographs. It's not too fun after a while.
Yeah, but the girls must really dig you.
Yeah.
But even at this tender age, many of them already have their priorities straight about baseball and the way it ought to be.
It's supposed to be a fun game and nothing else, but when they start getting paid so much money, it kind of spoils it.
I think I'd ask for a few thousand.
A few thousand?
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ask for $1 million. Too much. We're just playing a game.
Just a game. They used to have a football team in Baltimore, and tonight the locals get a taste of what they're missing when the Dolphins and the Saints meet in the old Horseshoe at Memorial Stadium.
But coming up.